Now, a council in Yorkshire is being urged to ditch its ban on serving meat and dairy because lots of people won't eat the vegan food they provide. Well, Calderdale Council in West Yorkshire is providing plant-based catering at meetings, but the Deputy Mayor, Geraldine Carter, says this has led to a large amount of food waste. And the Mayor, Stephen Lee, he's revealed that there have been complaints about plant-based menus at council-catered events. Let's discuss this with Metcalf-Fisher from the Countryside Alliance. This is a fascinating story, perhaps a meat-free menu that has come back to bite.
Absolutely, and what a colossal waste of taxpayers' money. First and foremost, as amusing as this is for me, we've been challenging councils that have ditched meat and dairy and switched to compulsory plant-based menus, including Calderdale. They enforced it last year. There was a lot of controversy around it at the time. The council were actually forced to admit that they wouldn't send enforcement officers into people's homes to inspect whether or not they were eating ham. The whole thing became very farcical and it barely passed. And a year on, quelle surprise, we learned that no one wants it, no one's eating it. And, food waste, Tom, is a big problem. It does contribute, terribly to climate change, and it was completely avoidable. And I think it's somewhat ironic that they've made this move to cut down on emissions and contribute positively towards stopping climate change, when actually all they were doing was sourcing beef from a farm just up the road, one of Yorkshire's glorious livestock farmers. The whole thing is a total joke. And I hope that the council rethink the policy quickly before they become any more of a laughing stock, and get good, great British produce back on the menu. And let's have a little bit of variety. Who cares if someone is vegan and they want to have access to plant-based produce? No one cares. As long as it's come from British farmers and it's incredibly sustainable, then I don't have a problem with that. I don't know anyone that would, Tom. I know you wouldn't. But it's not fair.
Surely choice has to be the watchword here. But why did they bring this in the first place? You say it's made food waste worse, probably climate change worse. Was it brought in under the pretence of being a pro-climate measure?
Oh, absolutely. You guessed it. Yeah, it's part of a number of councils who have enacted this policy, claiming that it is good for the environment and they want to lead by example. The whole thing is absolute nonsense, but it could be coming to a council near you. Camden Council is discussing it. We revealed that on GB News about 2 weeks ago. There are other councils that are seriously considering it. And I think the message from what's happened in Calderdale sends a clear reminder that it's actually a deeply unpopular policy. The vast bulk of people in this country enjoy meat and dairy as part of a balanced diet. They should be catered for. And people need to think about where they're getting the food from, whether it's meat, dairy or vegetables. And if it's coming from a British farmer or producer, they can eat that knowing it's doing a tremendous amount of good for the planet.
And good for our farmers too, who've had a terrible time of it recently. Metcalf-Fisher from the Countryside Alliance, really appreciate your time this evening. An absolutely fascinating story. How quickly we've moved on from the meat-free Mondays that the Green Council of Brighton once proposed. Now just meat-free every day. Goodness me. Thanks for joining us. Now, we should say that Councillor Scott Patient, who's Calderdale Council's Cabinet Member for Climate Action and Housing, said introducing a plant-based catering policy was an important part of Calderdale's climate action work to benefit people's health and to provide inclusive catering to a diverse range of people and to lead by example to encourage others to consider using locally sourced seasonal fruit and vegetables. We're committed to achieving net zero carbon dioxide emissions as a council in place by 2038. So that's what the council have to say.